Okay, so as I said, I'm Ed Smith with the Florida MegaMini, and we're going to give you an overview of the 2022 MegaMini being held at Embassy Suites at Lake Buena Vista South, about 3 miles from the Disney main gates. Going to try to go to a couple, give you some things to see. So I don't know why this won't go to the website. But for those that haven't registered yet, if you will go to floridamegamini.com, all of the things that we discuss and are pretty much held here. Our event starts in 8 weeks, 5 days, 11 hours. So there's a registration tab, which the cost is currently $180 or $140 for the 2-day. And then the price of the intensives, and we'll go into all of that a little more. The event, as I mentioned, is being held at the Embassy Suites. At present, the hotel, I believe, is sold out. So there may be 1 or 2 rooms that become available as people cancel. Our block is good through the beginning of March, but we sold out of rooms. So we have 2 host hotels as backup. And if you go to under hotel, the Hampton Inn is listed here and the Holiday Inn Express is listed here. Just to give you an idea, there is a map here, but I'm going to try to zoom in to show you what the map will look like. So I have a hotel to kind of show you. Did we? I don't think I saved that.
It's there, just to the right.
Sorry, here it is. So just to show you a map, the 2 major roads is this W. Ario Bronson Memorial Highway and Osceola Parkway. In between these 2 major roads is the Embassy Suites located right here. The Holiday Inn Express is right here, and the Hampton Inn is right here. So roughly about a block away from the Embassy Suites are 2 backup hotels. Holiday Inn is very kid-friendly. They've got 3 pools, putt-putt golf course, basketball courts, tennis courts, and is $119 a night, and includes breakfast and free parking. The Hampton Inn is $135 a night. No resort fee at either of them, and the information is found on our website. So just so you know that. So the links to do either of them are located right at the top. You just have to click on this and it'll take you straight to the hotel's link. And there's pictures of the hotel and everything. Anybody have any questions at all about the hotels? No. Okay. Just to mention quickly, airports. There are 3 airports. MCO, which is Orlando International, is the closest and where you will probably find the most plentiful flights. Sanford is also another hotel. Another airport, which I think Allegiant. I don't know if any of the other Orlando people want to chime in, but I know Allegiant's a big carrier there. Some of the discount carriers fly into Sanford. And then Tampa is a 3rd airport. Tampa is a little further, but not so far, maybe an hour away. So
Ed, I think we have a question.
yeah, question.
They just muted themselves. 1452, Peter Friedman.
Peter? Nope, we're good. Okay, so 3 airports. We will. I don't think you need a car for the event. I know there's questions about renting a car. I know if you arrive at the airport, there's Uber, there's shuttles. There'll probably be people that want a carpool, and we'll start a thread up in the Facebook group for people that are flying in basically the same days, same times.
Already posted.
Huh? Already posted?
Already posted.
Okay, great. We'll now quickly go over the schedule and the events. So we have updated the schedule a little bit, and I want to give you the most current that we have. So hopefully everybody can see the schedule. At the hotel, there are, and I'll give you an overview of the hotel first. This is the hotel. There's the main lobby here, and all of these items, which there'll be a happy hour at the Oasis Lounge. The complimentary breakfast in the morning, if you're staying at the hotel, is here. This cove will be for our family meet and greet on Friday. There's a game room here, as well as a little Disney store inside the hotel, and a big pool and patio area. Connected to the hotel, so there's a walkway through here, is the conference center, which also has its own entranceway here. So if you park outside here, you can walk directly into the conference center. Registration will take place at this desk right here, the West registration desk. So if you come in Saturday morning or any of the mornings, this will be where you will check in. We have all of these classrooms here, Cypress 1 through 5. And then on Saturday, we have all of Palms. So these 3 will be for lunches and our dinner. And our vendor room will be back here, E, F, G, and this hallway. And then D will be a classroom. So that's kind of the layout of the space. And you'll see that on the schedule when we get going. So there's a chat. Hey, Brad. Back to the schedule. Let me do that. So registration, if you're doing, there's 2 intensives on Thursday. There's the X-Lights boot camp. I forget what Ron's calling it, but basically the X-Lights intensive, which is a 2-day seminar that will cover the basics and some advanced concepts, as well as some sequencing techniques. Ron has spent a lot of time in developing great content in which he will have thumb drives and exercises for folks to do in that class. Right, Ron? You want to chime in anything on that?
Yeah, so it's a very interactive class. I've been watching classes since 2015, and I have a training background. So one of the things I've always felt was always lacking in a lot of the content I've seen, and no disrespect, is just the hands-on portion. And that is follow what I'm doing on your side so that we can have some kinetic learning. And also I'll have 8 GB thumb drives for people that will have all the exercises. We'll have a break in case of emergency where we have the completed home done and everything, so that if you fall behind, you can catch up pretty quickly. We'll have anywhere from 2 to 4 people on the floor with the audience, with the learners, making sure that they're not being left behind. If you have a computer issue, we'll make sure somebody goes over and helps you out with that. And then the rest is just pretty intense learning for 2 days. Not a lot of talking head, not a lot of PowerPoint, just a lot of working in X-Lights. And Ed, do you want to talk about the monitors? Is that still going to be a go?
Yeah, so there will be the option if you want to add monitors. I don't know how much interest there will be, but I think Mike Gutter got a quote for us of $50 a day per monitor. So it's $100 for a monitor rental. I had said to Ron, I will probably bring 4 monitors if you want, 4 or 5, just if people want to slip me $20 a monitor or for free. And I'm sure there's other people in Florida that could probably bring some extra monitors if it's an integral part of the class. So
I can tell you when I taught this course before, a 2-day course, this was at the expo, I think every single person had a monitor. Some people went to Best Buy to buy one. Some people packed them in, and I like to teach with a secondary monitor because that's sort of real world and can help people get set up with that.
Yeah.
It's not mandatory, but it will make your experience working with X-Lights much smoother.
Yep. Okay, so that's the X-Lights, the Lightorama Intensive. Drew Hickman will be leading that. Drew has been teaching Lightorama courses. I took one from him back in 2009 or 2010 at the Texas Academy. It was well worth the money back then, and well worth the money again this year. Just to tell you how much people really enjoy Drew. 2 of the people that took his class last year are signing up again this year. They learned so much from it. that he is a great instructor, very hands-on, and so if you're a Lightorama user, I cannot understate how great of a class that is. So that's also Thursday, Friday. Then beginning on Friday, we have two intensives, which will be the sequencing like a pro intensive, and we kind of stack the deck against Ron a little bit. But we've got three great sequencers: Barry Wiles, Michael Strophagen, and Tom Betgeorge teaching that class. And then we also have a projection mapping class that will go from 8:30 to 5, which will be, he'll go over everything that you need to know. And then you will break for dinner and then return back at 8 o'clock that night for projection mapping on the side of the building. So it will be very hands-on and actually do a side of the building demonstration. So that being said, the early registration, if you are not attending an intensive and you're going to be at the hotel, you want to get your badges early, from 1 to 4:30, you can do that. Vendor sales pickup, and we'll touch on that lightly, is if you are going to pre-order items for pickup at the Mega Mini. There will be a couple of options, and one of which will be 4 to 5:30 on Friday on the Cypress patio. We have moved the family meet and greet to 4:30 to 5:30. And Kathy.
Right,
So,
so sorry. I spoke with Taryn about that, about moving it to 4:30, and she says she doesn't get off work until 4:30. So
okay.
there, she won't be there.
So
I
we're
can
going to
still
leave it
be
at
there.
5:30 then. Is that
Yeah,
okay?
that
Or
sounds
maybe
good.
5, but we'll talk about it. But basically, and I agree with the sentiment is that sometimes if it goes to 7, and you've
Mhm.
got little ones and try to get them fed and try to get them to bed, it might be a difficult situation. So we're just going to have to work around some family,
Yeah.
situation. So we'll get back to you on a hard date. We are trying to arrange for a special guest to come to the family meet and greet, and I will leave it at that. You can surmise as to who the guest would be, but we'll hopefully be something that the kids will enjoy meeting and seeing. And then we have a meet and greet for those in the hotel in the Oasis Lounge. I don't know how strict they are about the free alcohol and food, but probably they will be checking. It's in that area. Afterward, there's Food Truck World. You're welcome to go eat anywhere you like during this time frame, or do whatever you like. But the Food Truck World it's located about 2 miles away. It's a collection of about 20 different food trucks with all sorts of different kinds of foods. And it's probably an easier get in and get out kind of place than if we try to organize, like we did last year, a Mexican restaurant with 100 of us trying to get our orders in and get food and everything. So basically, you can go get your food from any one of a whole bunch of different vendors, the kind of food you want, and get out of there, hopefully in time. And then we have a happy hour or after hours on the Oasis Lounge. There's a whole patio area that can accommodate probably about 80 people outside if you want to bring your own beverages or hang out, which is on the terrace area, or hang out at the bar. Both of those options are available to you. Any questions so far about the intensives and Thursday and Friday events? Okay, moving on to Saturday. Registration will happen from 7:30 to 8:30 in the morning. We have show and tell, and so show and tell is a concept that we will have about 10 different unique prop items out on this patio area, and like we have a walkway arch that's being set up. We'll have a bunch of different things. We have a mini mega tree out there. I don't remember all of them, but there are a bunch of different things that will be great out there. Vendor sales pickup. So if you weren't able to pick up the items on Friday, you can do it again on Saturday. We'll have our opening session in Palms C&D at 8:30. And then go to our first class at 9:30. The vendor hall will open at 10 to 12:30, and the class schedule is up. Classes have been posted. The class descriptions will be posted hopefully this week. I have about 70% of the class descriptions from everybody, but I don't have them all, so they will be posted soon. We will have lunch in the Palms. Is this Saturday? Yeah, Saturday. So we have our group photo. So we'll first have lunch. The vendor hall will close at 12:30, and then we have a group photo. So we do a group photo by drone, and this year it will be a very smooth and easy process that we will all get in and out, and so everyone will show up promptly at 12:30. We will very quickly take our picture, and then we will go into demonstrations. So we have 3 different demonstrations that there will be 3 different stations set up. So there is a very large field attached to the hotel, and we will have 3 different demonstrations going on, and will be broken into 3 different groups. The demonstration will last 15 minutes. The bullhorn will go off, and then everybody will rotate to a different group. 15 minutes later, the bullhorn will go off, and we'll all rotate again. One of the things that we will do is at every station, we will have a portable microphone. And so expect that there will be 80 to 100 people at each station, and people will be able to explain. So we have, for instance, like a Tesla car demonstration that they'll do that. That might also be a nighttime demonstration or a daytime demonstration. We have a pixel forest, that's a nighttime demonstration. So basically every 15 minutes it will rotate between the different stations. Vendor hall will open back up at 1. We will continue on with classes. One of the things that will be unique for us is we've had people question about attending the vendor hall, that their wife or child or whatever wants to come. We don't have an additional charge for that, but we have set up a 4 to 5 p.m. time that attendees of the MegaMini can bring their significant others to the vendor hall. So it's a designated time that you can bring your family to it. Our policy on children is that well-behaved and supervised children can attend our events, which means that dad can't carry on a conversation and his kid goes running around the vendor hall or wherever it is. You have to supervise your children, and they need to be well behaved for any of the events at the MegaMini. There is an evening reception. Again, it's in the lobby for hotel guests. I believe if you're not a guest, you can come to the lounge area. Well, they're all kind of interconnected, and you can do that. And then we will have dinner from 6:30 to 8:30. It will be again in the Palms ABC. It will be a fun event to have. We have Richard Holdman as our keynote speaker. We will have fun activities. We will have the raffle prizes, which the raffles will close at 5 o'clock on Saturday, and they will be given out at that time. And then we may have fireworks, but we definitely will have demonstrations. So we're in talks with the fireworks, and it may or may not be a go on fireworks. I do want to give y'all an overview on our raffles. Raffles are very big at the Florida MegaMini, and so I'm gonna talk about a couple things here. So last year, just to kind of tell you, we had 196 different prizes totaling over $14,000 in raffle prizes. And so raffles are unlike anything that you have seen at any other event. So Last year we had 9 different rounds of raffle prizes plus door prizes. And then we call it kind of the grand finale, are at both the night times, which the items are much higher in dollar amounts. So you'll see here, our nighttime, a lot of large Coro props from Gilbert and Boscoyo, as well as EFL. We had controllers from Ricky, as well as Falcons from Pixel Controller or Dave Pitts. Dancing Santa Extreme Sequences. Ron gave us a year membership. And these were all from last year, but they did total 14,191 last year. We suspect that we will go much higher this year. And so that's kind of the buzz that you see about buying raffle prizes. And what we've tried to say is, if you buy it on sale online now, and I will show you what the raffles just to kind of tell you. If you buy the tickets online now, so there'll be buckets lined up with all the raffle numbers on them in front of, and here's all the items will be behind them. And then in front of the raffle buckets will be a description of every item with a picture of it, who donated the raffle prize. It's quite a big event, and people enjoy participating in the raffle. So if you buy your tickets online, you will get a 10% bonus. And when you go to registration, they will say, here, thank you, and here's your $50 in raffle tickets, and you can immediately put them in the raffle buckets versus having 200 people in line trying to buy raffle tickets beforehand. We're trying to hold that off as much as possible. I did want to mention the builds a little bit. So this is from last year, the Big to Fan build. Father and son, they did a build together. We had P5's builds going on as well last year, and we will have that again this year. We had a Top Hat build last year, and here's Top Hat being built. We had demonstrations last year. So this was, I don't even know what we called it, Calvin, but it was a foam dumper or something like that they use at Celebration, which was well received. We had, I don't know, it was some sort of cannon that shot off water, I think. We had
CO2 cannon.
CO2 cannon. We had the Lidette's fountains, which this really doesn't do it justice, because when you see it at night lit up with the spotlights, and that's what we're going to demo again this year, you will get a completely different view of what all of that is like. I've showed you the raffle. The Saturday night dinner, we had 2 trophies last year. We expect, hopefully, to have a 3rd trophy from Carol and Lisa.
Yeah, they're coming.
So they're coming. So we will hopefully have 3 trophies at the event, maybe more, and all of our Great Light Fight contestants being there. Our t-shirt, so we did an internal t-shirt design, and so this is what we started with, which is green and red, and I don't think we're going to stay with these colors, but that same design will be consistent. But I think we're going to go with a gold foil. Now the words are going to change a little bit. We tried to use what we thought would be most appropriate for the event, so we're probably going to change a little bit, but this is the concept for what our t-shirts will look like. It'll be most likely gold on a red or green t-shirt, maybe black, but that's what we're looking at. Any questions so far that anybody's got?
There's a question in chat. How much is each raffle ticket?
So the raffle tickets are done, everybody that comes to the Mega Mini, I believe, is going to get 6 raffle tickets for free. There is the grand finale, which everybody is entered in that raffle. So everybody is entered in that. Then you get 5 more tickets that you can put in whatever you want. If you want to purchase raffle tickets for $20, you get 10 tickets. for $50, you get 40 tickets. For $100, you get 100 tickets. And if you buy them in advance, you get 10% bonus. So it is crazy. There are people that will buy 100, 200, 300, and some of them win a lot. Then we've seen people that didn't buy any tickets and they were picked as the winner. So just to kind of explain to y'all that the Mega Mini, we're not for profit, we're free, and we try to keep the cost of the event as low as possible, and it's supplemented by the raffle. So that's kind of the philosophy that's been there, that we keep it as price as low as we can, and then the people that want to donate towards the event do so for the raffle. The link, Tom, can you put the link in the chat from the store if you go to the website?
Got it.
On the website, there's a link that says shop, and on the shop link, and you can also do that at registration. So all of the build events, I kind of glossed over it, but let's go back. All of the build items are here in the store. So we have 5 or 6 builds going on. We have the arch, we have the push button wings, we'll have the controller build, the top hat build, the P5 build. I think those are all the builds. And then the intensives are here as well. So if you didn't register for anything, basically there's 2 different ways to do it. One is when you register, you can buy everything that you want. But what happens is people are like, I can't figure out what I'm going to do, so I'll come back. And so now we have it in the store, and you can basically buy any of those items. On the build items, we are more than halfway sold out, probably approaching 2/3. Is that about right, Tom? I think we're about 2/3. So
Yeah.
if you want to do a build, don't wait, because I would say within the next week they will be sold out. So if you want to do one, then please sign up for it. I think let me just go over my list of things that I wanted to mention. Intensive classes, builds, vendor room. So on the vendor room, I don't know, Mike, if you have the layout that was done without the names of the vendors. I don't know if you want to share that, if you have that available.
Give me a minute to pull it up.
We can kind of show that. I did list all of the vendors. So we have spots for what's happening right now is we have to get approval from the fire marshal for our layout. And that is taking a little longer than we had planned. We had planned for 26 booths. We think we will get approval for it, but it could be 24 to 26. So we have only committed to 24 spots right now. So just to kind of tell you, this is the raffle room. When you come in the door, all of these tables here, this is 87 feet long, will be filled with raffle prizes. So raffles are very big at Florida. Then you will enter the vendor room, and we've created a racetrack, and so there are different vendors that will be kind of paired together, and the ones in purple are 20-foot or 2-spot vendors, and then 8x10s and 10x10s. So a little racetrack area for the vendor room as to how that will be done. The vendors, I'm going to name them, but I'm going to forget somebody, so my apologies if I do forget somebody. The list was put up, but we have Gilbert Engineering, Extreme Sequences, Boscoyo Studio, Wired Watts, Wally Lights, Pix Plus, Your Pixel Store, Magic Light Show, 245 Fab, Matos Designs, Foggy's Frog, Foggy's Frog, Fog, Sequence Solutions, Showstoppers Sequences, Lightorama, I can't think of anybody else. I don't know if we're missing any others that will be in the vendor room. But now, in addition to that, there will be vendors in the attending the event, and we will be offering discount codes as well to those vendors. There are currently, I think, 6 or 7 vendors that are offering free pickup to the Mega Mini, and their codes have been placed. They were emailed, but there is a login page, right, Tom? As someone, we're going to be, as we receiving codes from people, be posting it in the login section on the page, so you will have all of those codes at that time, right?
Yeah, as soon as you log in, you'll see the codes pop up. It'll be the first page you're brought to before you can go somewhere else, even if you are on the shop. Just to add a note to that, if you haven't ordered from especially the Coro vendors, because if Gilbert and Bascoyo and I believe EFL are all going to bring the pre-orders to the Mini,
Mega Mini.
to the Mega Mini. Just saving alone on the shipping and not having the props cut, because a lot of times they have to cut the props, is absolutely huge. So if you've never done it before, highly recommend you get it because you save a ton of money.
Yeah, just to kind of put that, let's say we're going to buy $100 from Boscoyo. He's going to give you a 10% off discount, so that's $90. Well, typically, shipping represents 22% of the cost of it. So your normal price on that would have been $122, but you're getting it for $90. So if, the people that we have coming in from out of state, if you want to take advantage of it, I do recommend you could drive. If you're coming from Atlanta or coming from Tennessee or from South Carolina, flying is definitely available, but if you want to get the maximum savings, you can have it all shipped to one stop and pick it all up. There's going to be the Pixel vendors are also going to be have pickups, and you can basically one stop shopping. We will have a Pixel pusher there, not to steal Rodney's thunder, but we are going to be demonstrating a Pixel pusher, maybe more than one. And so if you want to try learning how to push pixels with a Pixel pusher, that is an option. Now,
and we have a few questions in chat.
Okay.
Will we be signing up for specific classes ahead of time, or do you just show up for whatever class you're interested in?
Sure.
The classes, as long as it's not intensive, you just show up.
You just show up, yeah.
If you're not signed up for a build, can you still sit in on the class?
Absolutely. In fact, I think you can help people. I think there'll be people that say, if you want to help them out. Huh? What?
It's going to depend on the class, though, because
it's going to depend on the class.
Yeah, I mean, Ricky's controllers are getting up there pretty high. He may not have room.
How many? Did we limit it to 15, or did you go beyond that?
Well, no. I mean, the F-16s are sold out, but he's going to be doing a lot of receivers.
Right.
And then something like the Angel Wings, I'm not sure how much room they're going to have in that room.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Well, I guess Tom's right. I apologize. It's really going to be dependent upon the class, but yes, they will have that. So, what
Another
are the
question?
other?
What's the mask policy?
Okay, so the mask policy, Florida is open for business, is truthfully the policy. There is not a mask requirement in Osceola County at the present time. If they do require masks, the hotel will not be policing our space. So we will, if masks do occur and are a requirement, then we will kindly ask you at the beginning of the conference to wear a mask. But what you so choose to do is up to you. We're not going to run around and police people. That being said, we're in a time of COVID. So if you have a personal preference, even if masks are not required and you want to wear one, go right ahead. I encourage you to do that. Everybody has to take responsibility for themselves and their safety, and I encourage you to take whatever steps you want. But as an organization, we do not have any plans to yell at people and enforce those rules. and the hotel is not either. So.
Hey, Fred and Ed, there's one other question further back. If you're giving prizes away at an optional dinner, do you have to be present to win?
Okay, so raffles will be done differently this year. We will know every person's numbers in advance. So in prior years, the question is, do you have to be present? You do not have to be present at the raffles except for the ending raffle. And the reason that's the one on Sunday is because you're gonna get announced who they are at 4:30, and we're out of the building right then and there. So you've got to be there. We're not going to ship you your prize later. Maybe you can have a friend, if you set it up in advance to do it, but we're not set up to do that. So when you buy them online or you buy them in person, we will know that Mike Utter has tickets, 1 through 200, and when we pull ticket 198 and it has it on there, we will know who the winner is immediately. So there's no need. Last year we had people with hundreds of raffle tickets. We're gonna have all that done in advance. So we'll just plug in your number, voila, you're the winner. So you don't need to be present to win. However, you have to pick them up. So for instance, raffle pickup will be from the Saturday night raffle. Next morning, Sunday morning, raffle pickup will be 7:30 to 8:30 in the morning. You can come get your raffle prizes. So we will know all of that. Hopefully that addresses your question.
There's another question. Are all the controller builds happening at the same time and in the same room? If they're 20 per build, that's 80 people building at the same time.
So Tom, you want to address that? I don't believe there's 20. They're all the same at one time. So I think there were 10 controllers and 5 receivers or something like that.
Yeah, well, there's a bunch of receiver ones. It all happens in the same class, but the build process is going to be the same, and Ricky will have help there as well. So it's only 10 controllers. The rest of us is going to be receivers. He's been talking to Dave Pitts and them. If he gets more in, he will snag them up and add more to the list. But right now, there's only 10 F-16s, but it's about 50 total.
Okay. Someone's asking about restaurants. I'm going to show the map again, and hopefully I can point out where the big areas are. So as far as the hotel is right here, inside the hotel is a restaurant, but Burger King is located right here. 7-Eleven is right here. And then on these two main roadways, so West Osceola Parkway and Bronson Memorial Highway, there are restaurants all along this corridor. So Olive Garden, pizza, barbecue, TGI Fridays, all of these. And then there's restaurants all up here. So
there's definitely tons and tons of restaurants right there.
There's
for those that don't know that area, Earl Bronson is 192.
Okay.
Yeah, if you can think of a kind of food you want to eat, it's there.
Okay, good. What other questions in the chat were there?
That's about it.
Anybody have any questions for us at all? Now, I did want to mention that prices will be going up for a number of items Tuesday morning. So if you're still on the fence about coming, your best pricing will be tonight and tomorrow, because Tuesday most items are going to go up in price. And then in March, there will be another price increase. That'll be our final price increase. So I do encourage you to sign up. The sooner the better to do that. So.
And raffle tickets are discounted is good through tomorrow, right?
Yes. Raffle tickets will be sold until March 20th at the prices and discounted. But at the 20th is the cutoff, because we need 9 or 10 days to pack all these envelopes and have everything. So when you come to registration, You generally get a registration gift from the Mega Mini, and you will get one again this year. We've selected some pretty nice items, and so you'll get a registration gift. You'll get a nice lanyard that has the schedule printed on it that you'll be able to have around with you for the event, and then you'll have T-shirt pickup as well there. So there'll be a number of different items to pick up at registration. So,
So someone asked about what the registration's at. So basically, if everybody wants to know, it's at 275 plus. Not going to give out exact numbers just yet, but
yeah.
somebody asked about increase on dinner. So as of right now, no. You can get it in the shop, but as time goes on, yes, dinners will increase.
I think we're talking about increasing it on Tuesday, Tom.
Yeah, so it does increase on Tuesday. So
yeah, so Tuesday it will go up. So just to tell you on, especially on dinner, we're actually losing money on dinner, which I know sounds like a crazy thing to do, but our cost on dinner is a lot more than $50. And so, but we wanted to keep it affordable for people to be able to come, because if we slapped, a $60-$70 price on dinner, people would say, well, I'm going to Chili's or something and I can get it cheaper. But when you have Chili's and you figure out that you have to pay the gratuity on top of it as well as the tax on top of it, the event, it is a few dollars more, but it will be a first class event in every regard. We're kind of stuck with hotel prices, and it's kind of the way that it is. But we'll all get in and all get out fairly quickly. So that's the good side of it. And then later that night, we will have demonstrations going on. So after dinner. So Friday is going from 7:30 in the morning to 10 p.m. at night. It is a full day. Come to as much or as little, or just socialize. There's something pretty much for everybody, no matter whether you're a beginner. I didn't touch on this, but I will. I don't know who here is a beginner, but Russell and Bill will be teaching on Saturday morning, all day Saturday, I should say, but all day RGB beginner guide to setting up a display. And they will take you through the hardware, a little bit of software, and everything. So on the stats, I think, Tom, what do we have? 30% beginners, 20? I don't even know what the number was, but it's a pretty high number of beginners that are coming to the event.
yeah, it's an interesting number for Ron to know too, and any other vendors. It's 40% new people coming, and about 18% first year.
First year, yeah. And so in addition to that, almost 40, it's been 39 point something percent are out of state. So Florida is 60%, but 40% are coming from out of state, and I believe it's 31 different states at present. And we've got 1 or 2 states that are staying at the hotel that haven't yet booked. So we suspect there will be even more coming. So it is, I don't say this with any hesitation whatsoever. This will be a first class premier event. This will blow away any other event that anyone has ever attended. And I have been to 5 or 6 different minis across the country. I've been to the Texas Academy. I've been to Transworld. I've been to Expo. I've been to Florida. And we have assembled the best of presenters, the best of the best program, the best of the best vendors, and I have no doubt that this will be a great event and well worth your time and effort should you choose to come. So
plus Rose is going to be there, so that's important.
Plus Rose is going to be there.
Without Rosa, I don't know if I could even survive it. So yeah, I was delighted to be able to add her to the itinerary. Thank goodness. I did want to say something.
Sure.
When I taught the 2-day intensive last year in July, 90% or more of the class were really new. And we really didn't know that was going to happen like that. It was very interesting that so many of the class were really brand new to X lights. So as we see the uptick in new people entering X lights, whether they're fresh straight into it or they're coming from the Lightorama world, which we see every year, it was a pretty high percentage, which was surprising.
Yeah.
So this should be interesting to see where the stats fall.
And there will be new Lightorama users there as well. So I don't want to say
certainly,
everybody new is
certainly.
coming as X-Lights, but certainly
Drew does a great job.
Drew
so,
does an amazing job. And just to tell you from the Lightorama world, we will have Aubrey Call and Matt Brown, who's a developer for S5, will be there, and J.R. Dibble. From the X-Light side, we have Gil Jones coming, who is a developer, as well as Scott Hansen, a developer. We are working on the FPP developers, currently trying to get them to come as well. So we do have a who's who coming in every respect.
Can we say anything about the meet and greet at dinner? Our guest?
Not yet. Not yet.
No, no.
Okay.
So that's really it. Anybody else have any questions for us? We're happy to address. I don't see.
I want to thank you for moving a lot of the purchases from the final registration page to their own individual purchases, because that was my reason for not registering a week ago, was because I was like, oh God, how many tickets do I want? Oh God, do I want to do dinner right now? Oh God, do I want to do this at this moment? And so adding that, all together. So thank you.
So it's all broken up, but we try to get it all initially, and then, but it does. You're right. It does slow people down. So, okay. Well, again, I'm always available if you want to shoot me any message you don't want to, mention online, or anybody on our committee here is available to address it. You will have a great time. Florida is very friendly. You can be from anywhere, and you will make a lot of friends. Truly, in a real short period of time. So,
Ed, Peter, and Rita Friedman, just wanted to thank you very much. You and all of the people that contributed to this. This was great. Thank you.
Thanks, Peter. Appreciate it.
Ed, there is another comment in the chat. What are the main differences between 2-day X-Lights and sequence intensive?
Okay, so Ron, I think, kind of gave an overview, and you can look. So if you go to the intensive section, it will give you a overview. So basically, if you go under education intensives, it will give you an outline of what the 2 courses will be. So for the X-Lights, it is 2 days, and it will cover all of these items. The Sequence Like a Pro is only 1 day on Friday, and they'll go over the basics on selecting a song, colors to having a song, the timing track on how the beats, and then go through basically a step-by-step methodical way that basically a novice person could sequence a song from beginning to end. And I think at the end of it, I think they're giving you a sequence as well. But so basically, when you go through the class, it's going to be sequencing a song. So where I think the X-Lights boot camp is more hands-on learning of X-Lights, this is more of the sequence. There will be overlap between the two a little bit, but I think the focus is different.
Right. What we did last year is we sequenced a 1-minute song. So I'll have a different song this year that is somewhere around 1 minute. And the focus is to look at key effects that are fairly simple to use for verse, intro, verse, chorus, and out. And just so that you have a better concept of how easy it can be to create the basics of a sequence and build upon it. Are we going to get into layering and go crazy? We simply don't have that kind of time. Even if I have 4 workers on the floor helping me, some of the concepts can be really up there if people are at that kind of mid-level to beginner level. If you're at an advanced level, that's a whole different class. but we're going to cover a lot of ground. If you're trying to brush up and fill in the holes on the use of X lights, if you're trying to learn some advanced tips and tricks, we're going to cover that. And we'll talk about my style of sequencing, and we can compare that to others, but I don't really do that. I think everybody is very unique in what they're looking for in a sequence. So the goal is to help you find your way through that if you want to sequence. If you don't want to sequence, which is a higher percentage of people that don't really want to learn because it is very time intensive, I think we would agree, but you want to learn how to really set up X lights to be efficient and have a workflow that makes it easy for you to create sequences or map sequences. We'll be doing a lot of mapping. Then that's going to be the class for you. But yeah, there'll be some overlap.
Right. Well, and we the sequencing class is just to kind of tell you as the organizer. Ron's the class is probably geared from the beginner to the intermediate level of X lights, where the sequencing class is really the nuts and bolts of how to sequence. Most everybody, well over 90% of X lights users just buy the sequence from everybody. Nobody actually sequences. And
Guilty.
that's been one of the things that I've been like, well, I want to just sequence one song. That's all. My whole goal is to sequence one song this year, but I don't know how to get started. I don't know what to do, and so it's kind of here's the process. If you want to get started, this is what you're going to do, and hopefully by the end of the class, you'll have some of the ingredients as to what to do to sequence and become effective. So there, just to not to sway you one way or the other, but it's focused differently. Just as on Saturday is the beginner class, there will be a little bit of overlap with Ron's, but then if you look at the sequencers, we have 2 full days of every sequencer, major sequencer in the hobby that will be teaching. And one of the classes is going to be a sequencer panel. So we're hoping to get Ron and Clyde and Tom and Barry and all the big, the bigger name sequencers in the hobby together in one room and offer a class where people can ask them questions and give them a real short period of time to address things, because it is slightly different in style and focus. So that's really it. So
We have another question in chat. What is the cost going up to in 2 days for the 2-day and the 1-day registration?
So the 2-day is going up from 140 to 175, and the 1-day is going from 80 to 100. Okay. So it says, can you come and go in these classes as you like? So the intensives are full day classes. The other classes you can come and go as much as you like. There will be people that just want to hang out in the vendor room. There are people that will want to socialize. There are people that want to go to builds. There are people that want to go to classes. So something for everybody. So.
Yeah, and I think they're wondering, is it going to be cool to get up and leave in the middle of a class, or are you locked in there? And typically what we would see is you might walk in and realize you're in the wrong class and then walk out. I don't think there's a problem with that. And
well, what we try to do is we'll have the class description in advance. So let me point out the schedule for a second on that. Is the way the schedule is organized is, okay, all of the lore classes will be in Cypress 3.
Are you going to be sharing?
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Then somebody did ask, Ed, are the intensives going up in price also?
I don't believe we are. I don't believe there is going to be a price increase initially. I can't say that that will be the total. But as of right now, we're not planning on increasing the intensives. But there will be a cutoff date. So just to tell you is to be truthful with you, Ron's and the X-Light sequencing classes are about half full at this point. And so if you are planning on going to either of them, don't think that you're going to be able to register a week before and get into it, because I believe that they will fill and they will hit the capacity. We have already have a backup room to move one of them to a larger space, but based upon the hotel's capacity, I don't think that we'll be able to do but one of them, and we suspect both of them will sell out. So don't wait on doing it, but we're not planning on increasing the prices on them. Okay, so I had mentioned Cypress 3. All of the classes in Cypress 3 will be Lightorama classes. For both days, you can stay there in that. If you're a Lightorama user, you're going to be in that class. Classroom 1 and 2 will be generic classes or software agnostic classes, or X-Lights classes. So beginning on Sunday, we'll have advanced X-Lights, servos and X-Lights, and 3D, all X-Lights related classes. So if you've gone to the beginner class, which is all day on Saturday, you're not going to miss going to an X-Lights class over on this day. The builds are going to be in Cypress 5. So we start here on Saturday in Cypress 5, and that whole trek, all of the classes in Cypress 5 are builds. And then the Palms D classroom, this is the largest classroom that we have that can accommodate 270 or 250. And all of those are the classes that we expect to be the largest attended classes. So that's kind of the strategy on how we've laid it out. So if you're a Lightorama user, you're probably going to hang out most of the day in the Lightorama, but there will be other classes. Maybe you want to learn about Audacity and how to do editing or something like that. But you can basically float in, and that's the way the classes are set up. So, did that address? Anybody else have? I see 5 questions in chat. Did we already get them? Yeah.
Looks like all the questions have been answered. Did you want to mention anything about plans that you're working on that are close to closing?
Close.
Of a tour?
Oh, okay. So this is a teaser item. As many of you know, we have tried to get a behind-the-scenes tour of a major attraction in the Orlando area. And we have a possible tour on Monday morning. I don't want to overstate that it's a definite, but we have a major Orlando attraction that is willing to give us a behind the scenes, possibly. We won't know for another week because it's got to go up the food chain, and someone high up could squash it. So I don't want to say that it's a definite, but it would be an attraction that you would like to go to. So I'm just gonna leave it out there that would be scheduled for Monday after the MegaMini. So those people that are attending, it most likely would be only limited to 40 people, and we would get to see a behind the scenes kind of experience. For those, it was free. There's no charge for it. It's just for those people that would be interested in doing it. Once we get approval, we'll release that information, but it's in the works, and I will leave it at that. It's not definite, but it is a possibility.
Another question that just got answered is, are we submitting video links to our shows this year to be played during dinner?
Yep. So it won't be played during dinner. It will be played during lunch. So that will be like similar to what we did last year. It will be actually shown. We will, in the raffle room, we will have a TV set up there that will be linking. It'll just be replaying the song, that whole video loop over and over again, and then in the lunchroom, they'll be up in the lunchroom on Saturday.
And where can they submit those videos if there is a link or form or?
So Darren will post that in the next day or two. So he was unavailable for our meeting before, but that will go up in the next day or two. So, and just for those that didn't know it, basically everybody that attends, we show, probably like 20-30 second of every person's house that wants to share what their display looks like. So it's pretty cool. It's kind of like an X Lights Around the World, except it's only the people that attend the Mega Mini, and you get a full screen view of your house, and it can be any song. It doesn't have to be, any particular song, but you get to share what your display looks like. So, okay, anybody else? Okay, I want to thank everybody for coming. So someone asked about swap meet. So we are not officially doing a swap meet. If you want to sell stuff, I think what's occurred in the past is people have posted up in the Facebook group and said, I've got Lightorama controllers or whatever. And usually people buy them pretty quick, and you just meet up at the event and get rid of it. But we didn't dedicate any space to a swap meet this year. So that's all I got.
Great job, Ed. That was a lot of info.
Yep, I appreciate it. Again, if you do have any questions, we're here for you. Send me a message or post it up in one of the chats, and it will get addressed. Okay? Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Good to be.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Good night.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Ed. You're the best.
Oh,
I don't know. You might have missed it. So I made a little modification to the logo, right?
Uh-huh.
Oh my God.
Hold on. What did you do?
He's got the mini logo in the back.
The modification to the
Mike.
Oh, actually, you know what? That's a pretty good idea. I wish you had presented it earlier.
Hey, Tony, you're still recording, by the way.
Oh, yeah, we're still recording. Oh, wow.